Damn. Hold on. Fuck. Just wait a second, guys. Okay, hold on. Look at this. Oh wow, we got a keyboard. You can like change all the sounds and everything by just pressing all these numbers. I think. This is so dumb. I'm just experimenting, to be honest. All I know is like this chord. I don't know what it's called. I learned something about chords, like the amount of fingers in between each, the amount of keys in between each finger represents whether it's a minus or a positive. A minor, A, whatever. I don't know, I wasn't paying attention to music that much. I enjoy music, but it's just like, I don't pay attention to all the technical stuff, I just want to make it, you know? I don't know, to be honest, like, I want to have a basic sort of grasp of every instrument, just so at least I can like use them enough to experiment with them. You know, so I'm not just sort of lost in the dark looking for just going on a keyboard. I want to like be able to at least like have a sort of basic grasp. Rock organ. I didn't know they had organs in rock. Oh, hold on, that sounds like... What's that? You look lonely. You look lonely. I can fix that. I've been trying to like expand my music taste after realizing how dry my Spotify Wrapped was. So I'm trying to expand into like loads of things, and you know, I've discovered some stuff that I like. You know, I've gone into like breakcore and like UK D&B and stuff, which I think is quite cool. People like Sewer Slut and what's the other one? Gore Shit, I think. It's like really weird names in like they have some really weird names in breakcore, which I think it's cool, you know, it's pretty experimental. I quite like it. My main goal is to just sort of, you know, expand and find things that I even don't like. You know, I think the best way of finding things that you really like is by going into all the underground shit, you know what I mean? You're not gonna find a lot of whole things that you like if it's you only look for the things that's the most popular, you know, that's ridiculous. This whole sort of notion that the reason popular music is popular is because it's good is complete rubbish. You know what I mean? I mean, you'll have people like Harry Styles, which, you know, Harry Styles and The Weeknd and Ariana Grande, which, let's be real, are very mid, in my opinion. They're not the best, not the worst. I do enjoy some of their songs, but overall, they don't seem like the kind of people that would have like 100 million monthly listeners. That's insane to me. And I think the reason it's so popular is, number one, because it's clean, so you can play it on the radio and wherever you go. You know, in stores, for example, on the radio. You know, it's very advertisable. Obviously, you can play it in advertisements as well. But also because, like, it's a catchy rhythm. You know, it's not very experimental. It's just, they play it safe and they make things that they know people will like. You know, they don't experiment with it at all. Which I think sucks, because you can make something absolutely amazing if you did experiment, but people don't because they want to make money. And I think that's what zaps the fun out of music. We should all be finding, like, I think humans, or people who make music should constantly be finding, like, new sounds and stuff, you know, not just recycling old stuff. After, like, delving into, like, more, like, electronic music and more, like, experimental underground music, I feel like I've been in like a constant like search of trying to find the weirdest sounds on like keyboards and like adjusting it, and then going into like Logic Pro and like selecting a weird instrument that I've never heard of and then altering it to make it sound like even weirder. And the more I look into like weird underground bands that I enjoy, the more that sort of the more that thought sort of seeps in, like, oh my god, I need to find the weirdest thing and make it sound amazing, you know, like, and I don't do that. I'm not very successful at doing that for now, you know. I'm sure I'll learn at some point, but it's just like, oh, I want to make something weird, but I don't want to make something weird just for the sake of being weird. I want to make it sound good as well. Ooh. Oh, this is Dracula. I feel like as well, the more you dive into like more underground and weird music, the more you start to see how other popular artists are actually pretty unique. Like, I don't know, I would have considered Playboi Carti and like even Lil Uzi Vert to be like just generic mumble rappers. And the more I like expand into like more different music tastes, the more I realize, damn, they're actually pretty unique in the way they do things. Like Playboi Carti's whole like opium thing, like he kickstarted, okay, Burberry Airy, his style also kickstarted that, but Playboi Carti's like music and his overall like gothic punk kind of sound implemented into electronic like rap, it's unique. That's never been done before, okay? And I would have never knew that unless I sort of like delved into different music styles and sort of realized, okay, how it is actually unique. The more you dive into music, especially like underground and like sort of unheard of unorthodox music, the more you have an appreciation for like other genres as well. Like, I don't know, I never really paid attention to a lot of like the SoundCloud like mumble rap, but now I'm listening to it quite a lot because of underground music and because of like because I've listened to underground music and rock and, you know, all these other things that influenced like how I view music. Now it's like, okay, I'm actually understanding to like how people can appreciate this music. I actually quite like it. You know, Yeet. I started listening to you know, I never really enjoyed Yeet. But then I started listening to people like Joey and Marlon Dubois and like Blade even, and I was like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. Yeah, you know, he's got loads of autotune. You don't necessarily need a lot of talent, but I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like I don't care if a musician doesn't have talent, as long as they make good music. That's literally all I care about. In the same way that I don't care if a musician is a bad person, if they make good music, I'm gonna listen to it. I don't care. I'm really sorry. I've been trying to learn like breakcore on drums. You know, like how fast that is. Like, I don't really know if I can do it, but I'm gonna try to do it anyway, like. About like underground music, still on the topic of underground music, like it's also like, after discovering like how other underground bands play their instruments, okay, when I say underground, I'm talking about the Butthole Surfers, so not really underground, you know what I mean, but like, for modern musician standard, I guess they would say they're semi-underground. I don't know, the way that their drum pedal got stolen, so they had to play like the bass drum as like a big bung bung drum, and it resulted in just some like weird experimental like on stage gimmick. You know, that would be weird. It's weird, it's experimental, and it didn't necessarily sound good, but they were trying something new with what they had, you know, after getting their shit stolen, which sucks, you know.